Michael Patrick Shields is on the air.
Good morning, world.
Good morning, Michigan. A very pleasant Tuesday. See, you thought it was Monday. Nope, Tuesday, holiday week. Of course, a short week indeed. Gary Austin, the anchorman, is here with us this morning in our American Metal Roof studio. Find them at AmericanMetalRoofs.com. Save up to 50% on your energy bills. Good morning, Gary.
Well, Michael Patrick, here we are. We love these short weeks, don't we?
Story number one this weekend. Do you think that most people were talking about the fact that Jim Tressel resigned as the head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes, or was fired, or was edged out, whatever it is, I guess? 106-22 was his record. 106-22. Big shot. He beat Michigan 7 years in a row, played in a couple national championship games. And now the scandal, according to Sports Illustrated, is deeper than anyone even thought. And so on a holiday, which is a good time to release news because nobody's awake, he resigned. How about that?
Now, as far as you know, what further action could be taken against Jim Tressel if all of these allegations that, some of the severe stuff that the program's been accused of actually do pan out? What happens then?
I don't know if he's resigned. I don't know what you can do.
Yeah, beyond that.
I'll tell you what, though. I'm also reading now that Ohio State quarterback Terrell Pryor, the star, he's already out for the first 5 games of next season, suspended. But now the Columbus Dispatch is saying that they are probing further into whether Pryor may have received additional improper benefits. And if that's true, their star quarterback could be out, too.
Well, so
how about
words,
that? So you lose your coach and your quarterback.
So even Tressel, he's out of the picture, he could still be resurfacing as this investigation continues, obviously.
Oh, I don't know. If he has to get a job somewhere, or if he's got enough money, or he'd probably go quiet for a while. Maybe he'll get a TV job. I don't know. But for the moment, he leaves with his head hanging in scandal, and maybe his quarterback will go too. You know what else? Like stupid stuff. They were exchanging memorabilia for free tattoos. That's how it all started, I guess. So this guy, Luke Fickell, is going to be the interim coach for the whole season, they say. And what a bunch of baloney. The Ohio State statement says that they're not going to start a national search for a new coach until after the season. You believe that?
Well, this whole
thing's
thing's
going to sit around all season and just say, well, I can't wait to start looking for that coach at the end of the year.
It's been hanging for so long. Don't you think that in a lot of ways, from your perspective, that so many could see this coming? Something had to give eventually.
It looks that way.
And
but there was a big Sports Illustrated article coming out this week that talked about had a lot of former players, not only at Ohio State, but also, I guess, at another school that Tressel coached at, so I think the heat became too much for everyone involved. And we'll talk with Rich Kincaid about that in just a couple of minutes. But the other big question now that people are asking, who will replace Jim Tressel on a permanent basis? And some people are nervous that it could be Mark D'Antonio, the coach of the Michigan State Spartans. What about that? Because after all, Jim Tressel used to work with Mark D'Antonio.
Now, is that possible?
Mark D'Antonio worked for Jim Tressel at Youngstown State and Ohio State.
D'Antonio leaving here now that would be incredible.
Mark D'Antonio was the coach of the defense that helped the Buckeyes win the national championship in 2002.
But what would have to happen? What kind of a deal? I mean, it'd have to be a pretty sweet deal for D'Antonio to leave.
Right? Yeah. Well, I don't know. He's from Ohio, isn't he originally?
Yeah, but I just can't say
Urban Meyer, who is also from Ohio, will be in the mix, and John Gruden, too. But they say that for sure you can expect that you'll hear Mark D'Antonio's name bandied about.
Yeah.
We'll talk to Rich Kincaid about that in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
What else I want to talk? Oh, can you believe there was another hotel attack? There was another hotel-made attack. And you might think, hey, are they playing a tape from a week ago? Well, here it is. Here's the report from Scott Pringle.
A woman who works at Manhattan's Pierre Hotel told police she was bringing tissues to a room at the request of a guest Sunday when she was sexually attacked. Now, the former chairman of the Bank of Alexandria, 74-year-old Mohammed Abdel Salam Omar of Alexandria, Egypt, has been booked on several charges, including sexual abuse. Now, the NYPD says the victim's complaint against Omar is credible, and the incident comes 2 weeks after the former International Monetary Fund chief was arrested for a similar incident in Manhattan. Scott Pringle, New York.
See, isn't that weird?
Not again.
Does this happen more often than we know?
I don't know. You just wonder if this one case has prompted others who may have had this happen to them start speaking up as well. Who knows?
What happens? What's with hotel maids? This What do they do? Should they now all phone the rooms ahead? Should they not go alone? Should there be a buddy system?
Well,
What kind of world is it?
Well, you know what? I mean, you know that because these people are in those kind of situations where they're, I mean, presumably, I mean, in most cases they work alone, right? And that makes them vulnerable and susceptible to certain kinds of attacks or whatever. So who knows?
What is it that a man can't be alone in a room with a woman without, acting like a maniac?
I don't get it.
I mean, we don't really know what happened. We weren't in the room, but I'm just saying it seems unusual that now that it's another guy in high finance with a maid in an expensive New York hotel room. It's bizarre, isn't it?
Yep. Hey, you know who's sounding upbeat? Governor Snyder, as he's prepping for his big event there. The Mackinac Island Policy Conference is coming up.
Yeah, he's going to be there Wednesday, tomorrow already.
Yeah. He's
from what I understand.
And he is just he is ready to go to talk about the new budget and give us all an idea where the state's heading from here.
He wants to have a new publicly owned bridge to Canada in Detroit, too. Yeah. That's one of the big... This has been going on for a couple of years now, and he's behind it all of a sudden.
Yeah, he is a big fan of that. Now, there are a lot of folks who are saying, hold on, how much is the state going to have to pony up to make this happen? And that's where I think a lot of lawmakers have some serious questions, but Snyder says it's all doable with help, with Canadian money being thrown into the mix, too, so we'll see.
Here's the thing. About 1,500 people are going to be there on Mackinac Island, okay? Yeah. Brooks Patterson, one of the people we'll talk to when we're there, the Oakland County executive, he's a political lightning rod sort of guy. Yeah. Here's what he says about Snyder. Quote, he's on a real high, he says. I wouldn't be surprised if he rides in with people dropping rose petals in front of him. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, well, he's fired up. This whole budget thing was a big deal for him. And, where we go from here, who knows? I mean, he still has a lot of opposition among Democrats, obviously, in the state legislature, but with enough Republican allies in the House and Senate. I don't think the budget deal was like 100% to Rick Snyder's liking, but certainly awfully close. And whenever questioned about that, saying, well, Governor Snyder, you didn't get everything you wanted, he said, the whole process, it's about working together. We tweaked this, we modified that, and in the end, everything came out all right. Hey, talk about that.
Wait.
Talk about money.
You know who else is going to be at that policy conference, don't you?
You.
Ford Motor Company Chairman Bill Ford.
Oh.
General Motors President Mark Royce.
Yeah.
Detroit Mayor Dave Bing.
It's a who's who of bigwigs.
And me.
And you, too.
Broadcast. And they're not going to throw rose petals in front of me when I get to Mackinac.
They might.
They're going to have horse manure. Especially for me when I arrive.
Don't say that.
It's true.
No.
We will be broadcasting live Thursday and Friday from the lobby of Grand Hotel, right around at the foot of the stairs, right around from the hotel check-in desk. Brought to you by the Detroit Regional Chamber Policy Conference.
Yes.
And Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, Clark Hill, AARP, Family Resource Centers, and Health Partners.
Yes, and we should note, otherwise known as an MPS working vacation.
Nonsense.
Yes, this updated service...
There's no fun. Are you kidding? It's work.
It's a lot of fun up there.
No, it's not.
This updated service of AmericanMetalRoofs.com. Check them out, AmericanMetalRoofs.com. You'll never have to worry about the weather again with a beautiful guaranteed American Metal Roof on your place.
Lansing politicians did what?